I'm Dr. Gary Sachs, and I'm here with Theresa Schmidt, nutritional therapist from Sachs Wellness Center. And we just want to spend a few minutes talking with you today. First, a little bit about us. We are a natural healthcare facility, and really we see ourselves as whole body healers. One of our main tools is nutrition, both what people eat and the types of supplements that might be helpful to bring about better healing in the body. Today, we're going to talk about something that we find to be really timely. This time of year, we see a lot of patients that have some troubles with their gallbladder. A lot of the things with festivities of all the holidays tend to cause some digestive pressure, we'll say. So why don't we start out and you talk about the kinds of things that come up for you.
Okay, and while you were saying that, I was thinking, there might be some people out there that aren't as aware of their anatomy as maybe we would like them to be. So if you don't mind, I'm going to show people where the gallbladder is.
Where mine is?
Yes,
okay.
Where yours is. And I will say most people, because I actually know a person whose all their organs are reversed. So for you, gallbladder right under this rib. Turn that way. The gallbladder's right under this rib. So if somebody's standing there like doing this and they don't even know they're doing it, they're rubbing their gallbladder. So just kind of pointing that out. Okay, so it's a little bit complicated, and I think people don't realize how important their gallbladder is because it is taken out so easily and so frequently that they don't realize how important an organ it is for us. So gallbladder, its job is to be a holding tank for bile until it's called for. The trigger to call for it is stomach acid. You can go ahead and go through it. Stomach acid is our gallbladder trigger. It's also our digestive enzyme trigger. So kind of drives me crazy, all those commercials we see for Pepsi and Nexium, and you know, they're showing pizza and hot dogs and barbecue and saying, if you just take this one pill 24 hours ahead of time, you can eat whatever you want. So it stops stomach acid production. Well, if you don't have stomach acid mixed in your food, you are not going to trigger the gallbladder and the pancreas to do their job. Right? That's the trigger. So not making stomach acid is a big problem, and all those stomach acid reducers are a huge part of the reason that this country has so many digestive issues. I do want to say one other thing about that. One of the other big things that stops us from making stomach acid is eating grains. That's a big source of stomach acid prevention. So when you eat a lot of bread, buns, cereal, pasta, you aren't going to make as much stomach acid as you need. We also, unfortunately, make less stomach acid as we get older. So those are instigations of less stomach acid. So the gallbladder needs stomach acid to trigger its bile purge. Holds the bile until we purge it. If we don't purge it, it fills up, and gets achy. It'll hurt. And we'll absorb some of the fluid back out of there, but the bile gets thick and sticky. So a lot of times people will have thick bile instead of gallstones. They'll get the x-ray, what's the problem? They don't see anything. It's because the bile's too thick and too sticky. So we need to purge that out often, like we should. It then mixes with the acidic food, brings the pH up, so the rest of the digestive process will happen. What happens when we don't purge that bile is that the food is too acidic and it won't go any further down. So the food sits in the duodenum, which is right about here, by the way.
Part of the small intestine.
The duodenum, it sits in there, and it will literally sit there for days and rot. The food rots, you produce sulfuric acid, and that is what we breathe up or get up when we have reflux and heartburn. It's that acid that we're breathing up, not our stomach acid, which is the really confusing part of things.
So many things, this chain of events, and people have symptoms at any one of the links.
Exactly.
You know, they might not go through the whole chain, but it goes this far, and you know, they just feel the backup in the pressure.
Right.
Or they have backup in their small intestine.
Right.
Or they have
reflux, yeah.
Or they have all of it.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's reflux where you get food up. You can get food and acid, and sometimes with people, it's even drinking water, and they'll bring it up.
Yeah.
Like they'll eat food, and then they'll drink water, and then they'll bend over, and they actually get food in their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad enough, but it doesn't have to be true reflux. A lot of times when they lay down at night, they're breathing up the acid. It's called silent reflux, and they breathe up that acid. Can burn the eyes.
Yeah.
Can burn the sinuses. Make the throat burn, and then you'll put phlegm across it, so you're always clearing your throat, clear your throat, clear your throat, clear your throat. We also breathe it into the lungs and the bronchioles, which is a pretty big cause of asthma.
Yeah.
The beginning of asthma.
And it's just so amazing how many times people are taking things to help the symptoms at any one of those stages.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, often it just makes it progress to the next link on that chain because
Absolutely.
they don't feel it, you know,
Yep.
they got the symptoms kind of washed away, but they're not any better.
Yeah, and the problem is when you mask symptoms, you don't fix the problem. And the problem can definitely get worse then.
Yeah.
Or you have to constantly take that thing, and that thing has worse side effects than if you had just fixed the other thing in the first place.
Can be that too.
Yeah, the side effects. They have pulled Zantac, they've pulled Pepsid, they've pulled those because of the side effects those things have for us.
Yeah, and often
Way
long
worse.
term, people
Oh
don't.
yeah.
You don't feel it when you first take it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Omeprazole. It's a 15-day prescription. 15 days. And I have had people on that stuff for 5, 10, 15 years. Years. It's real. But we can, one of the great things we do here is we can help people get off that stuff.
Yeah.
And get their digestion working better.
Sure.
So, you know, the symptoms of gas and bloating, that's the first thing a lot of people feel when that food is rotting in their gut. They get that bloating feeling every time they eat. Well, that's because there's still food in there. They're putting more food down there, so it puts the pressure up.
Body hasn't handled the stuff that was there before yet, so it's still there. So one of the things I love about the approach that is taken in this clinic is that it has the ability to know what part of that link is the person at, where are they, what do we do about it, and then how do we get to where we've actually done something about the initial cause at the very beginning. So maybe you can just elaborate about that a little bit.
Well,
you know?
The nice thing about that is everybody's individual. Their history, their ancestry, the way they learn to eat as a child and the way they're eating as an adult, all of that goes into this. So everybody's different. There is not going to be one set thing for everybody. And even if they do the similar things, it's how much of that do they do. It's all specific to the individual person. And that is how we do this. It's very individual. So it really is very specific to the person. So it's not like, you know, we can put a sign up and say, okay, everybody take 5-AF beta food. It just doesn't work that way. So that's the beauty of this is we can help them discover why they're having that problem, educate them as to how not to do that anymore, and then help them fix the problem.
So sure, there are supplements to help your body make more of the digestive enzymes, to make more of the acid, which is really one of the enzymes. There are supplements to help thin the bile if it's gotten too thick. There are supplements to help with the small intestine and have it, you know, get rid of that backup into there. But the key is to knowing where that person is at, which one of those things they really need, and how much of those things.
Exactly. Finding out the cause.
That's the beauty of the customized type of treatment that's being offered.
So some of the things to be aware of, like we said earlier, that it's a lot of times it is grains that instigate this.
Started the whole thing in the first place.
Long-term use of grains, which is why I often try to limit those with people. But the other thing, once the gallbladder's being fussy, the trigger foods, and that's what the timeliness is for this season, the trigger foods are going to be chocolate, sugar, caffeine, alcohol, and fattier foods. If those kinds of things upset your stomach and make you feel bloated and icky, you need to come and see us.
Pretty good indicator. Pretty good indicator.
You need to come see us for that kind of stuff.
So we hope this few minutes together has been helpful and healthful for you. Please feel free to contact us if you have any other questions or want to know more about what we offer here. And we can be reached by telephone 989-732-7000 or on the web sacswellnesscenter.com.